This is September 20th, 2018, and this is the Moniology Precious Metals Sector Review. Guys, what I'm seeing right now is that the precious metal space is really starting to bottom here. A lot of signs point to a similar bottom to what we had in basically late 2015, start of 2016, where the metals really took off for a beautiful run. A lot of the miners, especially the juniors, you saw some of them saw 1,000% gains. So there's a lot of upside here if we call this accurately. Obviously, no guarantees in investing, especially based on technicals. However, what we're seeing is something very positive and very exciting for precious metal investors. So taking a look at gold, all of these charts, by the way, are a weekly time frame. And starting with gold here, what happened here at 1167? Well, for one, we retested this this uptrend breakout here from the upside. So secondly, there was a lot of divergence on the shorter term time frames. Don't necessarily see it here, but this also coincided, this particular divergence coincided with this particular breakout here around 1179 back in 2000, middle of 2013. Not much to speak about, but once we managed to break back above the 30 on RSI and held that zone, that told me that signs were improving for a possible breakout of this downtrend. Now, looking at the daily and hourly charts showed a lot of positive divergence. We're not going to go through it here, but you see an upward trajectory here on the PPO curling above zero here, and with this support that we saw here, if we were able to hold 1200, which it appears that we will, looks like upside move towards 1245 is definitely in the cards at a minimum. We think that ultimately gold will break out of 1350 in the next year or so, but ultimately nobody knows when that's going to happen or how quickly that's going to happen. Where you want to look is for evidence, and what this video is going to try to do is to show enough basically hints that something is indeed taking place to the upside. Now you want to see gold break above that 38 RSI marker, which is a very important zone here. It's starting to show strength, and certainly what we can say with certainty is this downtrend from 1369 all the way to 1167 has ended. There could be a period of consolidation here for a while, but I think that this is eventually going to move to the upside here. Here's why. Silver is another one that's typically you want to see silver outperform gold on a true uptrend. This has not happened yet, and so this is one of the areas of concern. Now, this area around silver has been exceptionally oversold, and this area around 30 has been served as oversold support in the past, and it looks like it's setting the stage for a rally at least to 16. What happens there is going to be interesting. We'll have to see. But silver has been disappointing. Now, platinum, on the other hand, has finally started to show signs of life. As you'll see later in the video, platinum is finally starting to outperform gold on its massive multi-year downtrend, and that's a very positive sign for platinum. It started this downtrend from about 1033, has finally broken out here to the upside. That's positive. You see that RSI has also broken this downtrend, and it's showing a lot of positive momentum here. We're higher today at 834 than when we were here back around 900 levels. So very positive sign in platinum. Look at PPO curling above zero, something taking place perhaps on a fundamental level as well in the platinum space. Look at names such as platinum group metals come to mind. We'll go through some of the individual names in later videos, but definitely you want to consider that space. Palladium is another one of these platinum group metals that is really taking off here after a multi-month correction. What do we see here? So palladium hit a high of 1133, and it's pulled back all the way to 815. So nasty correction in this time frame, but from a longer time standpoint, this is actually a very bullish flag that breakout here. Now we're finding positive momentum. We're above 61, which is a crucial level in the RSI space, and we've got higher momentum at 1044 than when we were at this level in months past. So platinum, or palladium rather, definitely looks like it wants to head higher towards 1150 and ultimately break higher. Look at PPO firmly above 0. Next on the list, we want to look at the US dollar. Ultimately, these metals trade in the US dollar, and weakness in the USD is going to be a sign that the metals are indeed moving higher. So I called this when we had a massive run in the dollar, I was fairly bullish, and then you had multiple points of basically inability to break that 70 level on the dollar. Now notice this is where we broke down the first time from 100 all the way down to 92. This 70 marker right over here, this breakdown point, is what served as resistance here, and then again here. Once we weren't able to break down here, break this point here at 103, it told me that things were diverging to the downside. So notice here, you see higher highs and lower lows in momentum. So that was negative, long-term negative divergence. We broke down. This was massive support here at 92. I hate iCloud, by the way, guys. But we broke towards 92, served support as multiple times, and ultimately rallied here, but we couldn't break above 50, and ultimately broke down below this. And then what we saw here is it consolidated here for a while, and built some positive divergence where we had lower lows here in price, but higher highs in momentum right here, suggested that we were bottoming here. And sure enough, we rallied, and we had a strong rally. But look what happened right when we got to that 70 marker that we had here, here, and here. Finally broke below again. And that's where the sell-off began. Now we're testing the 50 and the 200-week moving average, already below the middle Bollinger Band. If we break below 92, and looks like it's going to happen, and we might bounce a little bit, but ultimately it's breaking lower. PPO below 0. This is going to be very positive for the metals complex. Question is, how low do we go here? It's going to be interesting to watch. Obviously, support around 88 will be strong, but I think it ultimately goes and breaks lower. So definitely want to keep an eye on the USD. Now, the HUI, the Gold Bugs Index, is a very strong index to follow to really understand what's taking place in the metals space. And I just want to clean up this chart just a little bit here. All right, and bear with me, guys. Thank you, appreciate it. Sometimes these charts get adjusted a little bit due to the various different time frames. And anyway, so what we saw here in 2016 was a massive double bottom, a triple bottom with positive divergence here. So we saw positive divergence on RSI, whereas price was basically flat. So that's what you want to see in a bottom. Here again, we saw that on the shorter time frame. I don't think we're gonna take as long to bottom here as we did over there. I think this bottom is gonna resemble something similar to what we saw here, and ultimately a very sharp rally. You want to see this break above this 170 marker here, or rather 160, to confirm a strong up move to the upside. But we're not out of the woods yet, but at the same time, this is no surprise that this has served as support around 140, as it was very strong resistance right over here multiple times. Right now this is an oversold rally at best, but I'm seeing signs that that this indeed might have some legs beyond just an oversold bounce. Now looking at the gold majors as represented by GDX, here's another one I just want to clean up just a little bit. So we had this in 2016. We had this very strong bottom that we saw in HUI, and I think here again at 18 is really 17 to 18 is this very strong support zone. Now, on the one hand, there's kind of negative divergence here versus here, but so that's definitely something you want to keep an eye out for. But I want to see a strong rally back above 20, which will invalidate this negative divergence at this point, because negative divergences are interesting from a longer term time frame, you really want to see them on a shorter term time frame. And right now I'm seeing on the daily and hourly a lot of positive divergences that suggest this bottom is indeed real. So keep an eye out on a big up move in the coming weeks and months for the gold majors. Gold miners, similar type bottoming formation here. You want to see a break above 30 to confirm this a buy point from a long-term standpoint. Until it breaks 30, it's just a bounce. Now, looking at, you want to see gold miners outperform the metal itself. Obviously, we had a pretty nasty breakdown here of this ratio. You want to see this particular red line be broken above to the upside. But so far, this bottoming action is positive, so keep an eye out for that. Now you want to see the juniors outperforming the majors. We've seen positive momentum here all of 2018, even though price hasn't really followed suit. I'm suggesting this is the most important clue that we've seen in this video that suggests that indeed the miners are starting to break out. Silver versus gold, you haven't seen it yet, but this is another one of the most important ratio charts that you want to be cognizant of. If this breaks above this 12 zone, then you're going to go towards that 12.5 ratio, and ultimately just look for clues here. You want to see silver outperform gold, like platinum has outperformed gold. Look at this. Since 2014, and frankly since 2009, if you look at a monthly chart, platinum has underperformed gold until right now. Something is happening here. We're seeing extremely positive momentum on RSI. We're above the 50 RSI level with positive divergence here versus various points before. And if this can hold, you want to see this hold for multiple weeks with PPO above 0. I think it will. I think platinum is where you want to be for this next bull run. Finally, I just want to take a look at the silver junior miners here. It looks like this bullish wedge here is almost like a cup and handle. If this can break above this 10 marker here, then that really suggests that silver is back in play. Until now, silver has been acting really weak over the last couple of years, but I think something's changing here, so definitely want to be on the lookout for silver. Now, bottom line, guys, this is just one video and one time frame. Looking at a weekly time frame, it is a little bit longer, but do your due diligence and make your watch list and certainly study the fundamentals because there are a lot of opportunities in the space. So good luck with investing, and feel free to send me your feedback. Thanks, guys.